think we're all set up. Hello everybody, this is Grimcad, and we are back with some more 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons on Wednesday in the Shifting City, although it's not really shifting so much. Glad you all can join us. We're starting to get into the crunch time, and this is sort of for everybody too. Most of my work is done by dint of the fact that I have been a huge slacker this year and haven't done much work. But, I got some projects coming up, so we may be iffy on whether we will be having sort of sessions and full sessions and all that. I will let you guys know, as in you guys, the players, ahead of time, because I think I can be organized and plan things out enough to make sure, whether or not I know, the day before or so. But just a heads up, because it does have the potential for it to happen. And, it needs to happen, because I've been lazy throughout the rest of the year as it comes to work. But, that's neither here nor there, I suppose. Let us go down the list and introduce everyone. Let us start in the middle of the list. Let's not start in the middle of the list. Let's start to the side of the list. Let's start with Adrian this time. Say hi, Adrian.
I'm not ready. Too much pressure.
Let's let Rick say hi.
I gotta agree with Adrian there. It's always the worst to start. It's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you were going to call on me.
I'd like to think it's a little bit better than that. It's not like I'm, asking you to solve problems on the blackboard or anything.
Oh god, we have a blackboard now?
Oh no, I didn't study for the test. What was my name again? No.
Tadpole, say hi.
Hello, everybody. This is Tadpole. Welcome you to the regular Wednesday morning game.
It's morning?
It is here.
It's morning for some of us, not for me.
It is very morning.
For some of you, it's so early in the morning, I wouldn't even call it morning yet. Gypsy, as Zydroan.
Yo.
If I don't say it every time, I won't make a conscious, effort to remember it.
Yeah, I'm still Jenny somehow a year later.
It hasn't been that long, surely.
Not quite. No.
And last but certainly not least, Guts.
I may be dead on the outside, but I am also dead on the inside.
Oof.
Wow.
Oof.
The real question is, are you dead in the middle?
Sure.
Oh.
Sure, let's go with that.
Is Adronin, any chance you can change your name on the bottom of the screen? From Gypsy to Zydronin?
I think so, probably. Yeah.
It's just be easier to...
You'd think.
Saying, hey, the guy that's yellow.
So last time we met, let's see, we finished sort of going through the Cuthbert's test. We got the items. I don't believe we actually fully divided them through because Guts wasn't here, and so we didn't kind of want to, make those decisions without her. So I guess.
Magic items?
Huh?
Is that the magic items?
Yes. So I guess the first thing we can do is make those decisions and then, say we made those decisions. What we actually did, however, is we went back to the sort of encampment. We spent a little bit of time, another day or so, gathering resources. We sort of told a little white lie to the rest of the NPCs and told them we took care of sort of the big bad end guy, which, probably won't have repercussions later, because I can't think of any repercussions to have with it, really.
We
Did-
just
Did
didn't.
we tell them we did kill the big guy?
No, we just didn't. We didn't address the actual killing.
I think
of the
it was
behemoth.
something along the lines of, "Did you handle it?" "Yes, we handled it."
No, it was. Did you kill the behemoth? Oh, we went there and all we found was tainted land.
Oh, I don't think you told him that you didn't find him either. I'm pretty sure you said you handled it.
I think handle was probably sufficient.
But either way, there were some events
mean-
that happened after that. There were a bunch of... I like to call them bramble folk, named after the progenitor of their species, Bramble, the first one to be named, who came. These are obviously some sort of tree-like dryad, spirit, whatever, abominations that sort of live out here in the Tangle. They came to us all in a rush, asking the group, which is more sort of the NPCs, but you all included, to honor their half of the accords, to keep them safe and to get them out of here. That they were being chased by something that they called the witch trees. Things were very sort of rushed, so we didn't really get a lot of information out of there, but we sort of packed up what we had rather quickly, to varying degrees of quickness, honestly, and head out. We were eventually not quite ambushed, but about as close as enough as you can be to being ambushed, by some sort of plant-like monsters. We managed to defeat them fairly easily, with some minor hiccups. Nothing for the rest of the party, but Hart managed to go down to, I think it was like 10 hit points or something like that, right around there. He is still sort of transformed. He is not healed, it should be noted. But we did destroy these death blooms, I believe they were. There's a handout somewhere. Yes. Which, man, what a great picture. Either way, we've been told that these are sort of just conjurings of these witch trees. Not to get overconfident that the witch trees are much stronger than these things, and that we need to go ahead and get a hurry on. That is, like, exactly where we left off. We're sort of in our marching orders right now. Zydroan Elemental sort of taking the top. Rick Elemental's sort of fumbling with these walls in the back. Hart has been polymorphed into a T-Rex in order to save him, which is either clever or something that's going to bite us in the tail. Either way, funnily enough, Guts, I had you do it.
Of course. Fine with me.
I like to think that Hart is biting himself in the tail right now, trying to scratch an itch he can't reach.
It's okay. The
Yeah,
transformations only last an hour anyway, so after that we can heal him like straight away. It's not like he's on death's door.
So again, I suppose the time now is to do a tiny bit of little retconning and pausing for the moment, and actually go ahead and figure out these magic items, if we wish to. We could just table it until we, the party, are in a safer place. I'm fine either way.
I mean, for case of the blind sight ones and everything like that, they're very situational. You know, I mean, I thought it was just a factor of no one was really fussed about any of the items aside from the mask, which everyone seemed to want.
What if we use the belt of teleportation on the walls?
Hey, dude, go on. You put it on.
So what I'm getting is that it's not exactly the most pressing matter at hand. So we'll just go ahead and table it until we get a chance to do something about it.
Yeah, it's not like it's a deck of many things where we've got to actually consider,
Right.
do we want to use this?
So we have just
The
destroyed.
answer to that is yes. Yes, we do.
Always, yes. We've just defeated the Death Blooms. We've sort of regrouped ourselves together, and we are fleeing this sort of area. My question for you, and funnily enough for the NPCs, but I know the answer to that, is sort of what speed do we wish to be going? Now, the NPCs want to be making, the time that they can go. There's threats behind us. They've proven themselves to be somewhat out of, at very least, their capabilities. So they want to get out of this place quickly. So they're going to be pushing for, a hard pace, double pace, and all that. The question is what pace are you guys going at? Because you are slowed pretty significantly by, these walls, for one. And really, that's it.
I don't see a reason why we shouldn't go as with all haste as possible.
Yeah, I don't either. I think we should.
I mean, I don't really want to leave the walls behind.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Do you think the walls will actually have any danger to them?
Surely. I mean, that's why they're at the back. Because if I didn't think they could be dangerous to them, I wouldn't have put them at the back. Because if they're going to be following us, we can close them together and hide behind them.
Well, maybe let's just go at the speed of the walls, and if the enemy shows up, we sacrifice the walls and let them be an obstruction.
If it comes down to it, that's what we're gonna have to do.
Because that's kind of what it's looking like is happening. At this point, it's like a choice to make. The NPCs are going, as I mentioned, quickly. You just cannot keep up with the walls. It is a question whether what do you want to do? Do you want to try to persuade the NPCs to slow down? Do you want to abandon the walls? What's going on right now? Because again, they're not going at a sprint because of, the very sort of nature of the Tangle. It's overgrown, hard-working, hard-moving, and all that. But they're doing the equivalent of it, and you just can't keep up with them.
Adrian, plan to shift them back to our house.
I guess the way I see it, I'd rather lose the walls than maybe someone a little more important.
I like the sacrifice of the Bramble folk to the walls, and we can save the seedlings, obviously.
We can make seedling walls.
Yes.
But no, would you be able to banish them to the other side of the city?
No.
Back to our house? No?
I could banish myself to 10,000 years in the future. Give me 1 sec, though.
Well, I say we go with the walls, and then use the walls as sacrificial lambs if we have to.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of the undead behemoth getting its hands on the walls, because that just seems like bad for us.
Oh, there's
the giant undead machination gets 2 big bone armors. I can just see it wearing those like pauldrons.
well, there's really no other choice. I mean, we can't make the walls go any faster, and we can't slow down the behemoth.
I mean, I reckon we can just make the NPCs take their time. Now, is it the clerics also kind of hurrying? Like, are they buying into the wood peoples? Because they would have seen that we pretty handily.
Yeah, well, regardless as to whether you handled the threat or not, you sort of what they were asking for was, keep us safe as quickly as possible, get us out of here. So, they're going to honor that to the spirit of what's going on, not necessarily the letter.
Well, I mean, personally, when you say keep us safe, you don't usually run off ahead with a...
Yeah, without your bodyguards either. I mean, they're also a very good defensive structure to just sacrifice that.
Sure, but by the same token, you don't, let your bodyguards set your pace either. Your bodyguards are coming with you. Like, you're not in charge of this. It's hard to, because going out, you sort of were in charge. We were sort of setting to your pace, but now something more important has come through, and they're sort of setting to that pace.
Well, if they want to leave the bodyguards, they're more
important than me. I doubt it.
Well, that also means, like, if you don't follow them, they're all also, timey-wimey repercussions as well for you.
Ultimately, my out-of-character decision doesn't matter, and Zydron wouldn't care. He would just think that they're Rick's walls anyway, so it's Rick's decision as far as I care.
Let's look at this one aspect, I guess. If the clerics leave, what damage does that do to us?
We basically cease to exist to them, because within an hour...
To them, but I don't care about them. We still exist in our own time, at our own rate, whatever that rate might be.
We could just experience our own rate of time.
Exactly. I have really no care. I mean, they're already in a different time that we're used to. So,
what kind of contract do we have with them again? I was actually away for the episode that we made the contract for coming out with them, so I don't know what kind of
it's more or less of a contract, really, than you wanted to go out exploring. They sort of wanted to see what you were capable of. They saw that you could do a little bit, so they were willing to give you a chance, as it were.
So we probably, if we go back, we won't be in good spirits, probably.
Well, like I said, I don't give a rat's ass about either.
Rick, what are you doing with your walls? This is your decision.
I just don't want to leave them behind personally, but yeah, if we need to, we need to.
Let's not leave the cursed undead objects behind in the cursed undead land to be turned into a cursed giant mech suit to fight us later.
Yeah, that's my main issue with leaving the walls behind, is that we just deliver these 2 really powerful undead constructs to something that can obviously control undead.
Can we try and convince the NPCs to slow down?
Sure. I mean, literally one of the options I gave you at first.
Yeah.
What now?
I mean, I was just saying it to see if anyone disagreed with me, really.
not to hashtag better it, but does anyone have better than 8 intimidation or persuasion? Because if not, I will burn angrily to slow us down, because I am Rudolph in this situation.
I've got an intimidation of 0.
I've got an intimidation of 6.
How do you guys have? Because it's charisma based. Guts, what's your persuasion and stuff?
Give me a sec. My persuasion is. Well, my charisma is 20, and so persuasion looks like it's 13. Intimidation is 7.
Guts, persuade these motherfuckers to slow down.
So this is
Right.
also going to be one that sort of boils down to your argument as well. So you can have some time, OOC, to talk amongst yourselves and prepare an argument, basically.
Yeah.
They're
Good
a
idea.
good defensive structure, and if the tank takes over the walls, then all of a sudden we might have to deal with these two constructs, and our control amulet may not work in the future. So slow down so we can keep control over our ancient artifacts of who knows how limitless power. That,
Make
Do we
that
have
in
something?
writing.
Do we have something I can throw into the walls to demonstrate what they can do?
I will jump into the wall and become one with it. No, not really.
Because, here's the thing from their perspective, is that you've been traveling for, I don't know, a week, and the walls have done literally nothing except be a burden the entire time.
yeah, we need to show them that the walls. Oh. We can polymorph quarks into something bigger.
You're just gonna sacrifice his familiar.
It's an hour, he can get it back.
Turn it into pterodactyl.
Goodness.
Morally ambiguous party.
I mean, I guess I don't think they're wrong. But
Yeah.
No, at the end of the day, they do just slow us down, and bringing them out isn't exactly efficient, but we have seen the power that they can do. Things avoid them, and that alone is enough to use them in combat and stuff like that, if you can have time to prepare with them and stuff.
And they
yeah,
kind
so I
of
think
are.
that would be part of our argument as well. Well, they're a bit slower. Like, just because they haven't been useful right about now doesn't mean that it won't be useful in the future. Because, we're dealing with a lot of unknowns here. Something that...
There is one more thing I just thought of. These are kind of an ancient, timeless artifact. I really don't want to see what they'd be like if they're out here mutating on their own in their own different timescale to us. Like, what if it grows and mutates while we're...
All of a sudden, it's just Mr. Bones' wild ride.
Yeah. 2 hours after they leave our time zone, all of a sudden, hey, look, they're taking up, square acres.
And they've just surrounded us, like...
All
Who
of a
knows?
sudden, these bramble folk are worrying about being scully folks. Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course, guys.
You racists. Do they even have skeletons?
I think the bark's an exoskeleton.
What an interesting question.
We could demonstrate the power of the walls and find out.
I mean, if we're doing that, though, we'd need to roll an intimidation check, not a persuasion.
Mm.
We will just persuade them that it's okay.
We'll persuade them not to get thrown into the wall.
Exactly. But, yes, how can we demonstrate the power of wolves?
Just,
Just throw a big rock into it.
yeah.
Yeah, true. We might actually be needing corpse scouting while we travel.
Do you want to waste a spell slot to kill a familiar, or do you want to just throw a big rock into it? Big rock, big rock.
Well, make your strength check then. Throw your big rock into it.
Rick, can you throw a
Big
big rock
rock.
into the walls?
It's also possible, you know, just theoretically,
Big rock.
that you as level 6 characters, when you first found these walls, you know, they were much more powerful than you guys as level 10 characters as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
At the same time, I still remember they did a fair amount of damage. And they have always, you know, had the nice morale effect of ripping things apart. Which is just great.
The walls haven't leveled with us?
We haven't been feeding them enough. They've basically been
They're nothing but skin and bones.
Yeah, that's what guts is, so yeah.
So what was that strength check for?
Big rock.
Explain that one a little bit more in detail.
Big rock. I thought Big Rock explained itself. I know I was going to pick up a big rock and lob it at the wall.
Okay.
So it breaks and
I said lob. I said lob, not throw.
it's not a ranged attack.
Alright, so, you know, you attack the wall and it sort of attacks back and, like, I don't know if you realize your own strength at this point. But that would be a thing that damaged the wall as well.
We said rock,
By how
breaks,
much?
not boulder.
By like 1d2 plus your strength modifier. Which, I mean, is, you know, more irrelevant. We're not talking an actual numbers thing, but we are talking, you know, 16 beats its armor class. I mean,
it's like 8 or 9 damage.
so yeah, you know, I mean, it would churn the rock around, but yeah, like, it's not powderizing the rock or anything like that, you know.
Yeah, but then what if I would have punched the rock?
Then the rock.
Like, you would do more damage to the rock, I'm pretty sure. Rocks don't really
I'm
take
wondering.
necrotic damage.
We
For
could
what?
destroy them. We could just destroy them, and then we don't have to worry about them.
Or, I mean, you could still follow the persuasion tree, you know, just because, you know, I pointed out their argument doesn't mean they didn't argue. We're not willing to be persuaded, but at the very least I am pointing out what their argument is for you.
Well, yeah, that's fine. At the end of the day, sometimes it's not like they're sentient beings or other NPCs. They're a magical item, basically. Sometimes you don't use your magic items.
Yeah, they're not sentient, so why don't we just leave the bramble folk behind?
Our pariah are also correct. But yeah, I mean, I'm still a fire, so I can't actually persuade anyone.
Right. All
Well,
right.
I'm sorry, I'm busy
So,
burning
and
to
again,
death.
this can be like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a one person pitching the thing. But now's the point where if we do want to try to persuade, we need to make a pitch, you know, to Fair and Joachim and, you know, Sassa Sycamore or whatever, of what we think.
I think that we shouldn't leave behind necrotic artifacts to things that are being corrupted by necrotic energies.
Yeah, I second.
On that note, random Arcana check.
Mm-hmm. 4.
Is it still my life's work to make a new wall? Now that we're level 10.
Has it been your life's work?
I mean, my
Since we found the wall.
might take half my life, you know what I mean? If I up the project for it all, is it beyond me still?
I mean, to be fair, we've always been trying to figure out how to make them bigger and everything.
Have you, though? Like, you mentioned it at first when you first got it, but, like...
I've been feeding them milk every day, Grim. Every day.
Why didn't you tell me that, then?
We started talking about, like, throwing bodies into them to make them bigger, but when that didn't work, we were like, well, let's wait a bit until we're more powerful and then see if we can do it.
Well,
that's
kind of a moot point. Let's just go ahead and slow down, go with the walls, let them leave their protection behind if they want to. And if time goes crazy on us, doesn't affect us. Honestly, their time just speeds up faster than ours. That's all it means to me. Let's just slow down and go with the bones.
We can do that if we fail our persuasion check.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Make the persuasion check. If it doesn't work, let them go. Let them leave their protection. To me, what that means to me is their time speeds up. They die faster. That's all it means to me.
Then we don't have to worry about it. Yeah.
Shoot the cleric.
Well,
If they say no.
our argument should be the fact that, you know, they're quite powerful artifacts, and the fact that we don't want to leave something like this with something that's tainting the land and might mutate them and then turn them against us in the future. I mean,
Could you imagine if the witch trees got their hands on this?
Yeah, exactly. Imagine if the witch trees, all of a sudden, we have to deal with witch trees that have bone armor and walls that rip you apart limb from limb, just from being close to them. Why do you think we've told you to stay away from?
Honestly, it wouldn't be our fight anyways, even if they did. I have no loyalty to the people back there. I have loyalty to the people standing around me right now. That's all I care about. So, if they...
Your water elemental and Rick. Okay, then.
So that's all that really matters to me. If the bones actually do fall into the wrong hands and turn into big, evil, monstrous things, So, I mean, I'll protect the bones because the bones belong to us. That's the only reason why I'd protect them. But let the other guys go. I don't care. If they want to leave their protection, make the persuasion check. If it doesn't work, let them go.
True. I was writing down my argument.
Besides, I don't like this. I don't like the city anyways because of slavery. But hey,
True. All right. Are we ready?
Let's do it.
I'm ready if
All
you're
right.
ready.
All right. So I guess this is what I was planning on saying. Or I'll approach. What is it? Joaquin, Baron. That group,
Mm-hmm.
and be like, "Look, I understand we need to be making a certain time, and but I really don't think we should be leaving the walls. One, they're a priceless necrotic artifact, and I wouldn't want to be left with the consequences of leaving it to rot out here with necrotic energy. That seems like a bad idea. Like, what if it mutates? And two, we don't really know the future. Just because we haven't had to use them now doesn't mean they won't ever be useful. Like, I can attest to their, ability and usability. They're not quite very versatile, but they deal good damage, and I just really don't. I think it's a bad idea to leave them. Then let me make that persuasion check.
Oh yeah, that's what we like to see.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, man, if I can find where these sheets are. We will go ahead and, because it's not like a lie or anything like that, there's not really the necessarily need for an insight or anything. We'll just roll some opposing persuasion checks.
And Bramble folk have like plus 20 to persuasion or some shit.
I mean, not very likely.
Baron obviously thinks it's a good idea to have the walls.
And again, man, I told you this before, but I tried to organize things, and now I am less organized because I don't know where things are anymore. Because I went and made folders and subfolders for everything, and now I'm just searching through those subfolders. So they can pretty much see the logic in your words. It's a grudging thing, sure. I mean, from their point of view, you've been spending a lot of time on these things, lugging them around and carrying them around, and they don't have much of an actual practical use out in the world. They get that there might be repercussions to leaving something out there, because, they are obviously fairly advanced on the magical doohickey scale. But, it's more of a, well, you guys are being stupid for bringing them out here type thing. Just stop lugging them around with you wherever you go type deal.
Well,
but
we weren't expecting to get chased away from here.
Sometimes you take a battering ram and the gates are already open.
In all fairness, with our track record, we should have expected to get chased out of here.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's sort of an OOC thing, but either way, 30 is awfully darn good, and so they are willing to concede, slowing down to the pace of the walls. But under the condition that we are constantly traveling, at least until we get out of the tangle.
That's fine.
And then we'll play it by ear, basically.
So, for the first hour, we have our transformations, and then after that, me and Hart would disappear, and I would personally spend at least one spell slot healing him.
Yes, and Hart basically appears back as a bloodied mess.
just technically over the hour that it takes for them to debol him off. I'm just gonna regenerate 23
Sure,
hit
sure.
points.
Does anybody want to burn some spells? Anyone else, rather, wish to burn some
Well-
spells on Hart, bringing him up?
Is anyone
Yeah, I
else
will.
injured? Because if anyone's injured, I'll just use one spell slot as opposed to us using.
By the way, like some of the clerics can throw some out there as well. So, like,
I personally would rather save their spells for emergencies.
you'd rather save the cleric spells?
Yeah, for if we need them badly in defense or anything like that.
Okay.
I'll give Hart a nice tap on the back with a level 3 Cure Wounds.
Okay.
You know, I've completely forgotten that for so long I stole Jenny answering a regeneration.
That's a pretty solid heal right there.
I mean, that thing could just be like passed around the party to keep everyone topped up.
I mean, it could be.
But no, if Hart and I are the only ones that are actually injured, I'll give him a healing word as well. Level 2.
You know, he's alive. He's been in better shapes and conditions before, but he's not about to, fall down at the drop of the hat at this point.
He'll be aight.
Yes. Okay, so what we are going to do is we're kind of going to move back and forth. So let me move this map a little bit closer so I don't have to shink every single time. Where we are is where we are right here. It is a day's journey for us to move here. At this point, we are still in the Tangle. Let me get a survival check from probably the 3 people who have the highest survival.
Mine is a +1. Yay.
Which may be Scout
Does anyone
at 5.
have better than a +1?
At 5.
Yeah, I have 5, so it'll be me, Guts, and Scout.
Okay. We're not too bad. Are we doing anything in particular as we are sort of traveling through?
Bringing the walls with us.
I will. I mean, this would probably be better for Tadpole to be doing as well once she puts her water elemental away, but I'll be going ahead.
About how far ahead?
Scouting. I mean, enough that it could be classified as advanced scouting, but not so far that I'm going to be leaving trouble or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I can go ahead with you because I can run back pretty fast.
So
Yeah, exactly.
you would be out of sight from the main party.
Yeah, and like use Tadpole as kind of a go-between for any information that's going up ahead. Look for
Okay.
easier paths to
So
take.
that way,
any risks.
I see you and I see the group. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of in between. Do you want to swap? Do you want me to be in the front? Because again, I can run back 3 times as fast as you can.
No, that's why I'm saying, if anything, you do the in-between, go-betweens and everything so you can relay information quicker than I can.
Okay.
And then I can focus on being scouting.
Okay.
And help throw them off her tail. I'm gonna waste spell slots. While we walking.
Okay. How many are you, how many slots are you planning on burning for it?
Almost have thought one diversionary terrain out at the moment.
Just one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just to make things clear, Yards, feet, meters. Just about how far ahead of the rest of the group are you, Zydroan?
Probably half the distance to the edge.
Let's pretend this map isn't here. Like, we're now in free form. Are you, longbow range away from everybody? Or are you...
Oh, no, like, I would be out of sight, but then wherever Tadpole would be, she was saying she'd try and keep me in sight somewhat. But also keep party in sight, so we have kind of like a layered vision. So I'd be probably like 200-300, depending how thick the jungles and everything are.
I was just going to say...
Yeah, which I've been picturing basically.
Because I mean that is about longbow range.
Oh, okay.
Because I was just sort of thinking
about half the distance of like our safe zone. That would be as close to the party as I'd get. So anywhere between that and the edge of our safe zone, little mile bubble.
All right. The first day goes by, and other than this sort of vague sense of uneasiness, nothing really untowards sort of happens. Those of us who have sort of a higher survival than the others, and again, it's sort of an iffy, very arbitrary thing, know that at this point we are sort of getting on the very verges of the tangle. We have gained a level of exhaustion, and we are planning this night on traveling the rest of the way, the 10 miles or so, out through the tangle in order to get into the other area.
This is okay.
This is more of a me informing you having any objections, which it sounds like there are none. Can I get the 3 survival checks again, and then perception checks from those in front of the other column, and those behind the column, sort of in that order. So start with survival, then go to the perception checks, and I will run for scout again. Oh, she's over here already.
Perception for me as well.
All right. Now, back over to here. Oh, I didn't even pull you guys over.
And then do I need to try and perceive things as well?
Yes. Because I do presume you are bringing up the rear, just like you are on the...
And we got a level...
Yeah, that is why I put myself there.
And why did we get a level of exhaustion?
Because we are traveling through the night. We have traveled, we have done our 10 miles through, difficult terrain as far as we go, and we are going further. We are doing another day's worth of travel this night.
Fair enough. Okay.
Okay. Can
I pull out my water elemental and see if it's been healed?
By the time we get to the little bit that we're getting to right now, it would have been healed.
Okay, that's what I needed to know. Thank you. I dismiss it back. If it's healed, I'm going to leave it out.
Okay. Zydroan, you are at the very edge of the tangle. It's a thing that, again, is fairly easy to see. You rolled a 21 on perception. There is something waiting for you right at the edge.
Is it Big Daddy?
It is not Big Daddy. It is corrupted in some way. It is very ostensibly one of the witch trees, and if I can,
should have taken one of the walls with you.
Find out where I put things. It looks not exactly as you may have pictured. It looks more sort of like one of the bramble folk has aged to rather considerable ages and has become less humanoid-like and more plant-like.
Oh, I will go back to wherever Tadpole would be roaming around between us and inform her to go tell everyone to slow up. We got one of the trees ahead.
Well, now hold on. For two reasons. Number one, because I can't find the token for the stupid thing. Here we go. And number two, because there's a very good chance that it senses you as well, because I do not believe you were sneaking.
Oh no.
I joined. Don't seduce it.
Please don't seduce it.
I was thinking about that.
This one will in fact be a hidden one. Perhaps?
Shorty's got roots for days.
He's
Yeah.
got roots for days, son.
So before you get turned from about as far as back as you are, you hear a voice that is in your mind. It is telepathically speaking with you.
Hey, what's up, SA?
Hey, gringo.
Where are you going?
I mean, where I like. I've got legs.
You get a sense of confusion coming from it. Like,
Oh, you don't know what legs are? They're these great things.
well, it's
and
not
I'll
quite
do-
sure
I'll
whether
do a
you were
jumping jack.
insulting it or being belligerent, or you were actually sort of being sincere when you were talking to it.
I mean, it'd be more of an offhanded comment, like just a statement of facts more than anything. Not so much a blatant defiance of I'm being a dick like I made it sound, but yeah, it'd be an offhand comment. If tone can be properly expressed through telepathy.
More or less. Why are you taking them? They should be with us. They're our children.
Oh, sometimes you gotta cut the umbilical cord. Sometimes kids gotta move out of home and start their own lives.
She sort of appears to think about this for a few moments.
Can I roll persuasion on that?
Yeah.
Come on, if I ever wanted a net 20.
She
Would you like
nods
some bardic
again, sort of
inspiration?
slowly in agreement. And then she casts a spell on you.
Oh,
What spell do we cast?
So a Constitution saving throw, you're looking at DC 18.
Ooh, mama.
Yeah.
You pass it, so you take half this damage.
Yes.
I think I actually have to type this one.
14d6.
So rounded down,
Yeah. That.
which is like 22.
Wow. That wasn't very nice of you.
And then the two of us, it and you rather, roll for initiative.
That's where I get the critical.
Well, it's not a bad critical to get.
No, it is not.
You go first.
You know what? Oh damn it! I don't have it fucking memorized at the moment. Alright, I will. undo this first.
All right.
Ignore that damage if it doesn't make the save, because it's going to be max damage.
It does make the save.
No, it doesn't, because I assume it's a plant creature or magical plant. Is it? Because if it is, it's with disadvantage, and the spell does maximum damage.
Well,
If the target is a plant creature or a magical plant, it makes a saving throw with disadvantage.
right.
And takes 8d8 maximum damage.
This spell has no effect on undead or constructs.
Oh, is it undead then still, is it?
Yes.
Oh, that's fine. And then I will...
Greg, Rick, multi-class as a paladin.
Word. Sorry. Hold on. On myself. And then, so how far the party's like ages away, right?
We're pretty close to where we are. We're sort of, cheating a little bit. So, Tadpole's about halfway to the party. There and so. If you can make it to be, probably about 5 or 10 feet from Tadpole, we'll say you can shout and Tadpole will be close enough that she can hear and then react to pretty much where she is.
Oh. Yes. That is my turn.
By the way, what time of day is it?
Time of day is sort of irrelevant for where we are because...
Actually, not for me, though.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing that it's been in the entire time. There's no sun in the sky. It counts as being, in daylight. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I need to know. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, she will move 20.
Legs are still better, bitch.
Way better. And then we'll cast Wall of Fire.
Fire? You think fire affects me?
Right about...
It does.
I gotta read, hold on. 20 by 20. This is the sort of obviously red line. This was wrong. I didn't actually count it.
I was gonna say, is it actually on me or is it just next to me
it
to
is
try
on
and like
you.
scare me? Yeah.
I just can't move it now.
I will quickly fail my dex save.
Here, we're just gonna start it at you.
Is that really the dex set?
Yeah. How the fuck is it a DC 33?
It should not be a DC 33. It should be a DC 18 again, I believe.
We're actually fighting this super lich right now.
I still fail, but
Right.
still. How?
Well, it's 18 fire damage. Again, I don't know. All right, and it is back over to you again.
I guess I will. What ground am I standing on? Like, is it stone, dirt, wood?
Pretty much everything is a combination between wood and dirt.
Okay. Well, because I'm pretty sure by this point the party knows the universal signal for get over here. I'm gonna T-Rex and fucking roar.
Sounds good.
And then I will Would I be able to know that Tadpole would have heard my roar? I mean, it's T-Rex.
You would certainly believe the tadpole would have heard you roar. I mean, she might have stuffed her ears with wax or something. Not likely, but
It is Tadpole.
Hey, now.
I will go back a bit more to be sure, and also, but I'm not trying to escape her. I'm trying to, like, because obviously the distance isn't exact. Is the distance between me and her the proper distance?
yes, like from then on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I'm just going to move your token out the way because you're not here, right?
No. Yeah, so I can go there. And yeah, I'm basically just trying to kite her around and keep her here for the party to arrive.
Tadpole, roll for initiative.
And if I'll I guess quote unquote think at her
Mm-hmm.
and just say, like, you know, it doesn't have to go this way. Like, you obviously have sent something at us before and it was quickly dealt with. Do you wish to go the same way?
Give me a persuasion check along with that one.
Can I give her an intimidation instead?
That works.
Off.
Should have persuaded.
Nah, it wouldn't make a difference, honestly. Like, persuasion, I would have had less of a hit.
So, funnily
I
enough,
bet you probably would have rolled higher.
that does mean something to her, however. She gets that, like, you didn't do a good job intimidating her necessarily. You know, your inflection was all wrong or something like that. But something that you said, yeah, that makes sense. So she says something, you're right. This is foolish. We'll be back. And all of us will be here.
Oh, great. You gave her the Edinburgh. You know,
And then she tree strides the hell away. Which, I mean, takes us way off the map.
Yes, that's fine. It does.
The rest of the party at this point also gets to roll.
Roll what?
Goodness.
Initiative.
Roll initiative.
Well,
Okay,
coming back
I
to head fast.
legitimately just had a brain fart right there. So
I was
what I'm
legitimately just about to say I'm the fastest man alive, and then you had to go do that, Adrian. Hi.
Yeah.
Let's see. From where we are now is where we are. And I'm going to sort of be taking the shorthand on this one. Depending on what actually happens, I will modify as need be.
Can I ask? So is a little bit of time going to be going by here before we enter into combat, like an hour or two? Because what I would like to do is I'd like
can't
to
give
try
you
to
a-
start make arrows that can ignite. Put the little cloth and little oil or whatever on them. The flaming arrows. Because I normally don't carry. Most people don't normally carry those.
I cannot give you a definitive answer for that.
Okay, so then what I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start making arrows and encourage others to start making arrows that can also flame. And have somebody keep a torch going. Because if they're wood, they might be more susceptible to it.
That reminds me. No, never mind. I did take my new cantrip.
I am not going to untransform, so I've got an hour of polymorph, and I'm going to patrol the fuck. They obviously already know we're here, so I'm going to make sure anything in the area knows not to be in the area.
So are we, and again, even though we've rolled, we're sort of obviously not in combat at this exact point in turn. What's the plan? We're probably a mile, maybe not even quite a mile from the edge of the tangle. Like, we can see where it goes on to the sort of the rocky lands, whereas ostensibly time is differently. We have just been sort of threatened by something that, belted out some high-powered songs, or spells, not songs, excuse me. What's the plan?
Yeah, does anyone actually have any form of telekinesis in our party currently? Like, in the NPCs as well?
I can.
No.
I
not the
might
NPCs,
sort.
at least.
Just because actually thinking about it, like, otherwise I would actually have to polymorph to tell everyone what just happened.
Well, I saw what happened.
I mean, at
assume.
this point, Tadpole
Okay.
can 1 and 1 to 2. You got in a fight with something.
Yeah. And I think the fact that I'm not coming out of my T-Rex form to tell them would tell people to stay on your guard, hopefully.
Don't worry, I speak T-Rex now. Rawr.
Rawr.
I can sort of find out where they are if they're within 3 miles of us.
And you got 10 minutes.
I forgot about that. Forget
Yeah,
mine.
rituals.
Forget.
Rituals are great. They just take a long time.
Yeah.
But I guess I will stick close to the party if we're going to keep moving, unless we want to make a stand. They can obviously track us, and we're not going to outrun Tree Stride. That's 500 feet a turn.
I can't even do that.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't have it memorized, so I cannot do it. So do we make a stand, or do we try hightail it? I reckon we just make a stand. Get the NPCs in on the fight and just ruin these trees' day.
I kind of like that idea.
Oh, let's,
Prepping.
let's keep moving, and if they show up, we'll ruin their day. But if we can get out, we can get out.
It was more of a question of, do you want to possibly have that time to prepare and everything, Tadpole, or are you happy to just keep moving?
We'll keep moving, but I assume I can probably still wrap a couple arrows with cloth and oil and or whatever, tar or whatever you use.
Sure, give me a survival check.
Okay.
And while we travel, I will likely keep a constant patrol around the entire group, so hopefully anything that tries to make a first attack is going to target me. Because, big scary lizard patrolling the group.
Sure. Yeah, you managed to wrap up 4 arrows or so, and you got something on them. It's crude, it's not like a permanent thing, but it'll definitely do in a pinch.
If they'll last an hour before they fall apart,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it'll definitely last that long. It's just not going to be like a permanent thing.
Yeah, and I encourage the others to do it if they can as well. Heart.
Imagine not being able to summon the sun at your fingertips.
So Scout would certainly, take that advice and, do what she can the same ways, and she'll make a roll. Apparently I didn't hit the button. Oh, I did. Yeah, and she'll make a few less, likely. She makes an arrow. Again, but is the consensus that we're sort of pressing on, trying to press through this, or
I
we're
think
stopping on making our ground? Because I didn't think we quite came to an agreement.
No,
I say keep going. Yeah.
I don't overly mind either way.
All right. Same order?
Pretty much.
You get the T-Rex in front?
That's good.
Yeah, like I said, I won't be doing so much scouting as more patrolling.
Yeah, stealth as that T-Rex stealth.
I'll leave the patrolling to actual tadpole to wayfind us. I'm more focused on being the big noisy thing that, if anything's going to target, gets targeted first.
Another. Just rage if I see anything. I can't get surprised. That's why I want to be at the back and stay there.
Okay.
I will be stealthing, so I'll be moving at 25.
Okay. So ahead of us, sort of where we were, this fire is starting to spread. A lot like a fire. Well, that's not supposed to be a shape.
It's okay, we can just go around it. Remember, guys, only we can prevent forest fires, so let's not.
You know the water elemental and those buckets of infinite water we have.
Well, no, I'm just thinking, hey, if there's a big fire raging behind us, at least we don't need to worry about trees behind us.
Yeah.
And then necrofire.
Sorry, necrofire. Oops, Rick, I forgot you.
Yeah.
I thought I had you grabbed.
Fire that was painted with
How
necro.
could you?
Would you go about that close to the fire, or would you try to take a wider berth?
I think we'd go around it.
Yeah,
So even still, there was concentration based, right?
I think by this point it's more.
Originally, yes, it was concentration break. I
Well, the
mean, this is
wooden
definitely
trees.
more natural fire at this point now.
Let it burn, let it burn.
And, pretty obviously natural at this point.
E.
Biggie. There, we're not bothering.
I mean, if the fire's still actively spreading, we should maybe walk a little bit further away from it.
It is still actively spreading. I mean, you guys are sort of.
We're all just waiting here, waiting for it to spread towards us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'd imagine we would
veer
take
off.
the path that would keep us safe and not have half the precision walking through a wall of fire.
We're just sort of, running out of map.
But we are going to disappoint Smokey the Bear.
Technically, you guys didn't start the fire.
But
Not
we
even,
didn't.
like, any technical about it.
We didn't fight it.
Rick, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't start the fire.
It's 11.
It's 11?
I'm 16.
Yours is 16. What's the owls?
13.
Okay.
I have observed. See, look. I have a button for it. Look at my button.
I really like that button. That's a nice button.
Behind you, those of you sort of at the very end, sort of paying attention, which, I mean, really should be most of you at this point, or at least I would hope, notice sort of 5 of these things sort of, again, just materializing into the air via the trees. They were definitely, tree walking or tree striding.
You see me do it, guys.
What I'm also going to do...
Does she fight off?
We are pretty much at the edge right here. If we can make it off the map, I'm going to say we are making it out of the tangle and into the other place. Now, that's not necessarily safety. But it might be. Might be better than fighting in the middle of a forest.
Yeah, that and the fact that they can do 14d6 and take that off of your max health if you fail your saving throw.
So for the moment, I'm still doing them as a group initiative. If they get closer, if they get nasty, we're going to start doing it as actual initiative. But again, this is your choice. You can take this fight if you wish, or you can try to run from this fight. Meanwhile, the fire burns.
I mean, I say run, but that also being said, am I able to move or weight myself so I'm at the back between the party and them?
If you want to take your movement to move more towards the back, you can. But it would be on an initiative type deal.
I was just thinking because I was already patrolling like around the party.
So Rick, you would have movement first.
So I would say there's witch trees,
Which,
or is
not witch.
living enough passive perception?
What's that? You would
I said,
notice
alright.
them. Yeah, they
Yeah,
were
I'd
not
notice them.
exactly hiding.
Now, is there anything around me that looks like a choke point?
Not particularly. Again, I realize the map, is sort of hills and whatnot, but we're sort of treating it as just
I
Yeah,
am the
that-
choke point.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Well, I was just gonna, I was gonna move up a little bit closer to the party, and then basically, like, just close the walls together.
Okay.
Use my action to move those closer together.
Mm-hmm.
No, Rick, I am the choke point.
Adrian.
I am the choke point. I'm the choke point, guys.
All
Choke
right.
choke them into the walls.
10 by 10 foot panels. Do.
So 60 feet or so. You can just do a straight line if you'd like. Is that meant to be double thick right there?
I'm just putting out 10 rectangles. Okay.
Okay.
I
Zygeron.
think
Yes, I will. Use me dash and roar really loudly.
Rawr. They are paying attention to you. Joachim will, along with the clerics, who I will actually move together, sprint 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 60. The Displacer Beasts will move to the front, but not so far ahead as everyone else. Guts.
Yes, sir. Alright. Shit, I was gone making coffee for a little bit. I have no clue what's going on.
We're fighting bitch trees.
I don't know if I got nothing that can help with that.
Have you got fire?
Have I got no? I have no fire spells.
See, this is why bards have a bad rap for being sluts.
You know, because they need to seduce
They need
anything
something
to
to
kill
do.
it.
If you can't kill things, you gotta get fancy with it.
Let me. I'm gonna hold my action, but I'm gonna hold it with Ray of Sickness.
You could also
For now.
use your bonus action for inspiration.
Yeah, that too. And for my bonus action, I'll do Inspiration.
Also
No,
on your turn. Who are you putting inspiration on first?
Let's see. Well, Zygeron seems to be the the center of attention right now, so I'll do it on Zygeron.
Nice.
Alright.
Yes, and yeah, that is a factor. I am trying to do basically everything in my power to be like, oi, here.
Try. You're all the way over there, so I'm gonna have to move a little bit. If I can figure out how much movement you got.
The hags will also, on your turn, sprint up forward with the rest of the NPCs.
Alright. That'll be it for me for now, and let's see, how much is my inspiration? I always forget. I think it's 1d6, right?
Hoot.
The owl hoots menacingly.
Was that also +5, so 7?
Alright.
That.
Presumably you are on top of the wormling, Adrian?
Yep, nope.
No?
Proceed to nope.exe.
Alright, then the wormling.
The wormling is dash prancing even.
There and back. Tadpole.
Since I'm going to go a lot faster than my water elemental, I will dismiss the water elemental
Mm-hmm.
and then move forward. Is it a take an action to dismiss him?
It can be a bonus action.
Okay, well, same for me either way, I guess. So I will go ahead. Looks like nobody's stealthing, so I'll just move ahead 100 feet,
Okay.
which is off the map. So
Ahead being ahead or ahead being behind?
Well, we're all trying to get out of the forest, right? Or out
Some
of
of us certainly are.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead of the group.
Okay. All right.
So 100 feet from where I'm at.
Yep. And we will put you right on the edge. Say that you're out. Let's see. The witch trees. They will move up 20. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do 3 spells out of here. We're gonna do a big old plant growth, which is 150 feet out from where it is its range.
But can it see over the 10-foot walls?
Yes.
They're big creatures.
Tell them to stop being tall.
Hey,
They ate their Wheaties. And it is 100-foot radius. So we're going to draw some shapes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So everything sort of in that range is in super dense cover, basically. Not cover, but that terrain stuff that you're walking on. You know. One is going to cast a Spike Growth, pretty much in the same area. And we will do that one. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oops, not that big. More or less like this. And that'll be them. Skeletons.
Oh no. Note to self: buy skeleton shoes. The skeletons will proceed to make a ladder on top of each other, so only the bottom one takes damage.
I like it.
3 skeletons in a trench coat.
Acrobatics.
So this is super difficult terrain then?
Yep.
Would that transfer into 30 movement?
What is it? You must spend 4 feet of movement for every 1 foot you move. So like, yeah.
there, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He can move 1 square.
We'll round it up in the case of players.
Oh no, damage. My feetsies.
All right. The things are not affected by such dense vegetation.
I was going to say, wouldn't they just be able to tree stride too?
They may not be that powerful.
Fucking weak.
They're just cheap.
Rick.
Not good
So
people.
also on your turn, Heart is going to act, and the Heart is going to go forward.
Okay, so I just shot downstairs for a smoke. What are the green lines? I'm guessing the blue one's the spike
The blue
growth.
one is spike growth. The green one is plant growth, which makes it like very difficult terrain. Like you move 2 squares basically.
Okay.
I mean, for 30. So I know you don't move at 30, but
Yeah.
yeah. Also, I'm moving this water elemental.
Did Hard take his action?
Yeah, he just moved.
Okay. Yeah. On my
He
turn,
would actually dash too, so he would get 2 more. Sorry.
Oh.
You're also breaking up a little bit, but
sorry, sometimes the push to talk button gets a bit covered
Yeah.
up by the bottom of the screen. It's weird. Yeah, I'll just spend my turn growing wings and then flying 60 foot directly up.
okay. All right. That's everybody, right? Yes. Well, no, not quite. I didn't actually run Farron. So we'll just run her at the end. All right. The fire has started burning much stronger with the addition of this magically happy plant life, and now spreads a little bit further each turn.
Guts, please don't burn to death.
The what?
Please don't burn to death.
I'll try. I don't know if that's necessarily in my control though.
Just dash.
I should have moved. I shouldn't have moved so far.
Yeah, your bardic had inspiration has 60 feet on it. I don't know why you had to move closer to Med in your point.
Because I'm stupid.
Adrian, it is your turn. Wait, who's that? Oh god, it's Scout. I forgot Scout. She'll move 5, 10, 15, 20, and she will take a bunch of damage. 2d4, 2d4, 2d4. Could have been worse.
I'm going to dispel that spike growth.
Oh god, the Scout goes down.
Does she actually?
She does.
Ha! Stupid bitch.
Wow.
Alright, the spike growth or the plant growth?
If
The
anything,
spike.
maybe
Okay.
I'd do the plant growth because Rick's flying, so he can't be affected by the spike growth.
Why my skeletons?
Oh, right on the edge.
Fine, I'll do the plant growth.
Plant growth, yeah, the plant growth, because everyone else is still affected by the
Plant growth, I believe, is level 3 or is it 4?
Oh, is it?
It says 3.
To 3.
Plant. Okay. Then yes, we have dispelled the plant growth.
And then I proceeded to Zoidberg.
I'm sorry, did I skip you? No, Rick, you flew. And you flew straight up.
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
straight up.
Zydroan.
Well, I am going to give a little roar on the dance floor. And guess I'll move like Scout hasn't been a real bitch at any point, has she?
I don't think so. I don't think she's really said much. This is indicative by the fact that her name is Scout.
Yes, there's a point. I'll get over to here first, and then I will drop my concentration.
Okay.
And then I will use my bonus action to cast Healing Word on Scout
Okay.
at level 3.
She comes up. A little worse for the wear, but it could be worse.
And then I will use my action, possibly, depending on the range of this. 20 was too far. I will hold. I'll hold my action to cast Call Lightning if any of them get within 120
Mm-hmm.
of me.
All right. Joachim and his lot will move off the map at a sprint. Displacer beasts will do the same, although I'm going to, line them up on the bottom. Guts, it's your turn. That fire is getting awfully close.
Can I move?
You
Can
can.
I pet that dog? I'm gonna move.
Oh, shoot, I forgot to move Hart on Rick's turn. There.
And I have. I don't think I have anything that's really useful. I gotta get me some fire spells. Does anyone want fly? So I have no.
Fly guts fly.
I'll cast it on myself.
Fly, you fools.
Fly, you fools. But, oh my god.
Alright.
And I don't know if I have anything in my bonus actions. And everyone's looking good?
Scout is looking pretty poor, but it might be tough to save Scout.
Yeah. Well,
Give her inspiration. Give her inspiration. I'll try and keep her alive and get her out.
alright. Wait, can I don't know if I can do it again.
Or actually, if you want a healing word me, that would be great. I just remembered I'm on 20 HP.
Yes, I can do that.
So I'm like crippled, by the way.
Yeah. Alright,
I
so
think-
level 4 healing word coming right.
Thank you. Having all that temporary HP is really, really deadly for you when you forget about it. Oh, nice. Thank you.
All right.
Not as bad as having so many resistances that it's super deadly for you if you forget about them.
Yeah.
By the way, Rick, don't forget to move the walls.
Yeah. I was taking that into consideration.
That's why it was flying up out of reach. So you
Hoot.
can spend turns.
Yes, hoot. And then your movement.
I already moved, actually. That's what
Oh,
you
did
just
you?
say there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Tadpole, you make it through on the other side, a little bit ahead of everyone else, due to the fact that, you're basically a race car. Eventually, the clerics burst through, sort of panting, sort of out of breath, maybe a little issues holding the concentration. They've been doing it for quite some time. Even though they've sort of been taking these bouts off. But Joachim sort of turns to you out of breath. If you're quick enough, you can get in, tell us when everyone is out. We can drop the spell and then rush. If we're past the line, I don't think they're going to come too far out into us. I mean, it's an option. That may be our best bet.
Go back into there?
Well, your friends are still there.
Well, yeah. They can get out. I will go back in.
See, I'm going to take that as Tadpole has faith in us, even though I know that's not what was intended.
All right.
Yeah, I will shadow step. Gives me another additional 10 feet, so that's 60 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And see what I can see. Does anybody look like they're in crucial, dire straits?
Not
Couple of them.
exactly. Like, we're kind of beat up right now, but nobody's like. I mean, Scout is, but at the same time, does Scout really count? But it's kind of hard to tell, honestly. I mean, they're pretty high-level casters, if we've noticed. They tend to be a bit bursty.
I will. None of the tree guys are within range of my short bow, so I guess I will move a little closer. I'll go over here, and if I see anybody gets within range, I will shoot him with my short bow.
Okay.
With a flamed short bow, I will ignite one of my arrows.
Yeah. The witch trees. The witch trees will all move. Still just 20. They're still just sort of hobbling along.
Actually, with that movement, I will rock my Call Lightning.
Okay.
to
It also should be
Well,
noted that that top one is the one that you saw before. I understand I'm using just the same tokens, but
nope, that works fine because that is the one that I am summoning the lightning.
they don't need to have personalities at this point.
So, Dex saving throw?
Yes. Well, as you can probably guess.
Yeah, but you never know.
Yeah.
Oof.
So
22 damage.
22.
Yeah.
All right, and then from there, I have to sort of eyeball some ranges.
I didn't think that was a line.
What's that?
I accidentally drew a line. I did not think it was a line.
Oh.
Just crossed out one of them. Alright, that one's dead.
Incidentally, yeah, about that diameter is the effect of the cool lightning.
On the bright side, Rick, you are not getting harmed because that is like super out of range for what they are doing. On the less bright side, you are
Scout
getting
goes down.
insect plagued.
Yay.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Not really.
It doesn't show. Hold on. I have to make it show. How do I make it show?
Why are all the con saves
Like-
for these guys 33, man?
Because, like, I put in 18 or whatever, but then it's, like, added 18 again or something. I don't understand. Here, we'll put on the spell description.
Oh no, I just pressed the wrong button and I cut out of the edit. I swear when gaming, those extra buttons come in handy.
Yeah. So, you do get hit by 3 of them. And again, it's 18. It's not 33.
So I need to make 3 con saves?
Yes.
Rick?
Yeah, yep, I'll get there. I just gotta contemplate dying for a second here.
Are you not raging?
No, I am raging. It was
Okay.
like the first thing I did.
All save.
Did they really? Wow.
I believe 19 is higher than 18, yes.
I'm surprised you can count.
What
Shut
is
up,
counting?
barbarian.
So a quarter for the damage?
Yes. I'm surprised you know your fractions.
Trust me, I'm better at math than you are.
You gonna take that from a barbarian?
I know, right? It's okay. I won't battle him in a battle of wits. He'll just beat me down to his level.
What?
I fucked up the saying, don't worry.
Okay.
Large.
So I let out a small ow as the insects start biting me.
Is Larch the tree people's butler?
No, well, obviously not, because his name isn't Larch Swan.
Get Larch Lurch.
Can you hear me?
Maybe.
We can.
There
Okay,
we
now.
go. Yeah, I was unplugged. So that's 3 saves, so half damage on each of those.
Yes, I done that. I worked out the damage.
Gotcha. And so one of them, Rick, sort of telepathically speaks to you. It's sort of a scratchy voice on the inside of your mind. It's not the most pleasant thing, but it doesn't cause you pain or anything like that. We don't have to do this. The Master is sorry for what happened before. He lashed out before realizing he wasn't in his right mind. He has gifts to give you. Such wonderful gifts. Won't you stop this and receive them?
Gift? What kind of gifts?
The only gift that matters. Power.
Give
Oh.
me a persuasion check.
Oh,
You want me
Oh.
to give you a persuasion check?
I would very
This-
much like that.
That's to Rick, isn't it?
Yes, this was specifically to Rick.
I would very much like you to give me a persuasion check, please.
Okay, it's more like a straight roll.
Ah.
Yeah. That was your insight, Rick?
Yes, that was my insight.
I mean, she's kind of half telling the truth, maybe all telling the truth. I mean, she certainly seems to be honest. You're about 99.9% sure that the offer for power is genuine at the very least. Then you're pretty certain that the you being attacked straight off, it was an actual apology. Now, of course, it wasn't from the being, so the person you're getting that from believes it was a genuine apology.
Are we going full evil campaign now, guys?
You know
I
what?
I just want to ask who the Master is. What's the Master like? Are they a vengeful Master? Are they gonna let us give up and give us power, or is this just some kind of trick? I ask because I'm not actually sure.
No tricks. If you serve the Master, the Master will give you power. Just like he gave us power.
What comes with serving the Master?
Power?
Does the Master have more of a name than the Master, or is that just forever known as the Master?
We mustn't use the Master's name. I would
Does he
not lie to you and say that there is not a price that comes with this power. But it's not so steep in the grand scheme of things.
Just your soul.
Rick, forward this information to us.
My last question is, what is the price?
Servitude.
It varies some, but your life first of all. And that's not to say you're dying, but you would be something more than what you are. Something
All of a sudden,
undead.
Adrian just takes a 360 turn.
Yeah. So, I say, let me discuss this with my friends, and then I turn around and yell out basically everything I've been told.
In the middle of combat. I'm sure some people are still running and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
What's that? Free on death?
Rick, if you want to try and just hold your turn and stuff, and we can have a parley if they're gonna not attack anymore. But at the same time, they just also, while saying this, unloaded 3 plague insects on you.
Yes, like literally at the same time.
I'm kind of thinking that it was probably like a different one that didn't launch the insect plagues that said this. Is what I'm thinking. I could be wrong.
As well, at this point, Farron would speak up and is like, "It's a lie. It's obviously a lie. Look at them."
But how could it be a lie? They're telling us that we need to serve them forever. So why would they lie about that?
Who's more likely to lie to us, Farron? The person who doesn't like us already, or the tree people?
You think they like you? You won't have free will if you take it. It's servitude.
But no, I mean, I guess we keep going through initiative if people want to keep fleeing and attacking and stuff.
Sure, and it can sort of be a personal decision at this point, I guess, if there is a decision to make.
This all happened on their turn, so we can't actually do anything just yet.
Yeah. So the skeletons.
The skeletons proceed to spooky Wookie out.
Yes. And they take one final 2d4. Blah. But they are moving at like real speeds now, by the way.
Now they're gonna dash.
Okay. Well, they're moving at double speeds then, by the way.
Bye, farewell, so long, I'll be just saying goodbye. So we need to go back to the timeless place and make our own undead army to fight their undead army.
Interesting. So, like, your spell would have long since, evaporated on them. So, you would probably get a very broken common, lie! Just run! And then they would, attempt to book it themselves.
Don't forget about Scout.
Yeah, I did forget about Scout.
All of a sudden, the mention of Scout Scarg shows up with the cavalry and saves us.
Hey.
Oh, I also forgot to move hags, too.
Sort of considering power, sort of considering if I stay.
So we can talk about this little OOC-ly. I'm okay with that.
I mean, I think it does. It would just come down to a factor of like, how evil do we want to get? Do we want to go work with the Big Bone Lord for a while? But I reckon we dip out. Yeah.
Not really. I'm evil, but that still does not sound appealing to me.
Yeah, you can't. That's why you gotta get your lichdom on your own terms. You can't become some servant with it, like some dark deities that want you to.
I mean, Zadron didn't hear the promise of power, but if he did, he would probably consider it. But
besides, guys, I'll worship the one true God, me, right?
Well, Rick would have shouted that over.
Dragons, you mean? You mean dragons?
Yeah, I would have said that there was power. I would have said that they were talking about possibly making us. What I would say was, I think they're going to make us undead, because that's what I took that as.
But Rick, I can do that.
By the way, the fire actually spreads. We can go ahead and spread
You don't say.
while we're talking.
Fire does stuff?
I say we just dip still, though. We may just have to leave the Scully walls, but it looks like they will be burning shortly.
What if we just moved the fire and pushed it somewhere else?
I like it. It's the only logical conclusion.
I mean, what else would you do?
Exactly. So Rick, you're really thinking about this hard, huh? Like, here's the thing. You know me, I'm fine if you take it. But it would be sort of a weird thing because, you know, Rick would obviously probably be away from the rest of the party. So there would be like checking in with Rick, so you would likely roll another character for a while, and then at some point Rick would ostensibly make some sort of, man, I love that word. It would make some sort of reappearance back, doing who knows what, because it may not necessarily be exactly on the terms that you think it would be on.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I'm fine either way.
Well, I've had a few seconds to think about it. And between a lot of power over there, leaving the friends behind, I think I'm just gonna think back towards whoever was talking to me. You get it inside my head, I'm gonna be like, thank you for the offer, but I'm sorry. Me can offer so much more. And then do that to the one that has lightning.
You're not exactly sure which one it was, but yeah, we can do it at the same one.
The one that
Oh, okay.
Jenny called lightning on.
Gotcha. I thought you were going to say the one that you was talking
And
to.
it's still got clouds and a storm above it and everything anyway.
So, yes, that is a dex save. 2 of them. 1 passed, 1 failed.
And then group up there.
That one is bloodied, by the way. Rick, excuse me, Hart will also move on your turn. And I'm not going to forget him this time. Oops. All right, Adrian.
Don't mind me. I'm not checking the range for my spells at all.
Did I get any sort of confused response about me can offer?
Not yet.
Because that was just really broken English.
Sort of like the conversation is playing over multiple turns. Sort of like.
Fair enough.
Sad, I can't fireball them. What a shame. I'll just wait to an arrow slash move off screen.
Okay. As Zydroin.
I will. How strong are you, Guts?
Not very. I think it's a -1.
Oh wow, okay, no. I was gonna say we could have double movement between us if we carry each other. But
I can try. Probably won't work.
No, it's okay. I will just... without my temporary health, I really can't do much. So I'll use my action to cool down the lightning again.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's another
Dex save.
dexterity. So
yep, that one's a save.
half damage?
Yep. And then I shall move there, and I shall cast that on myself,
Mm-hmm.
and that's my turn.
Joachim is out of there. Displacer beasts are out of there already. Guts, it is your turn. You're suddenly bringing up the rear.
I'm a dash.
If you're dashing, you should be able to go 120. You did fly
120?
yourself, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I casted that, so right there. No longer bringing up the rear.
Adrian is already out of here. You have sort of gotten together out of the tangle with the rest of the groups. The clerics look like they're working or waiting anxiously. And they ask you, how far are the others?
Coming.
They're coming.
They're coming.
Un momento.
Tadpole, it is you.
Okay, these are the walls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you'll have to remind me. I can't get near them without them grabbing me and trying to attack. Anything that gets within range, they will attack mindlessly, correct?
Right.
Okay,
Unless you tell them not to.
Yeah.
Unless what?
Unless
You use
One person tell me what?
Unless you potato.
unless there's an action specifically taken to tell them not to, basically.
And I'm not able to give them that action.
Mm-mm. I'm afraid not.
Okay. Well, I don't think I can do much to save your walls then. Sorry, guys. And there is no tree within range for my arrow.
Short bow, probably not.
Okay. Well, I've done all I can do. I'm out of here.
All right. So at this
Witch.
point, the witch trees are. They're gonna do one of two things. One of them is already bloodied. We're gonna make a hit and roll right here. Okay. So at this point, Rick, you get a telepathic communication again. The crystal at the center, he doesn't do anything for anyone. It only promises his faithful. Do you think you are one of his faithful?
Would you believe I'm the one that gave him all of his power? I'm his most faithful.
Still?
Look at what he did. He broke time. How many? Can your master break time?
Not yet.
Ask him if the master's bone daddy. You hear me shouting from a distance.
Do you know a bone daddy?
place your faith in that rock if you want. Unless you make it worth his while, he won't keep making it worth yours. And then they sort of tree stride away, doing the moonwalk. Zoom. We are out of the tangle.
Ooh.
Whether we hurry on out, those that were still stuck, or whether we sort of leisurely move on out, we make it out. Excuse me. The clerics ask, should we collapse the spell?
What will that do? To us?
Time would flow.
They-
Where you are, time is flowing faster than at the end of the time, but it's not going like crazy fast at this point.
I thought that time doesn't flow at the end of time. That's why it's the end of time.
We're not there. That's not where we are.
But you said it flows faster. Everything flows faster, doesn't it?
Did I say at the end of time? Well, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it flows faster then.
I'm not sure if we need to drop.
He would slowly nod to you then. So, sort of the Bramble folk, after sort of gathering themselves together, they'd come up to you and they'd start what you guess is sort of thanking you. You can't really understand their language except for what Sycamore is saying. It's thank to each one of you just over and over again.
I'm sort of gonna see. I have no idea if this is gonna work or not, but I'm sort of gonna just right here, right now, yell out, "Me! There is another here who may challenge your power." Just to the sky.
Yeah, man, you gotta pray to him. I like to roll a religion check.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you sort of asking? We're wanting to know, or this is towards Adrian. This isn't towards Rick. Right now, this one was for Adrian.
But my bad.
Yeah. Whereas this is sort of a general, what can you tell me?
Sure, why not? General, what can you tell me? How can you help us? What do you see in our future?
You don't get anything back from me, but...
Crystal Daddy?
Huh?
The Crystal Daddy King?
You're not entirely sure what that is. You would suspect that is likely not me. Me sort of pieced out towards the heavens or different planes of existence. It's unlikely that he is here. As for the rest of it, you haven't been doing much in the way of worshipping.
I'm being such
Normally
a good prayer,
there's rituals, prayers, things of that nature.
You go sacrifice a few people.
Sorry, what?
You go do a few, mortal sacrifices.
All right, back to Rick. What were you asking?
I kind of just wanted to let me know everything that just went down, like the witch trees are thinking that the crystal in the center, that they don't think that.
So
what
do you
to
do?
their master, and
how do you do it? I mean, like you said before, you're just sort of shouting into the air.
Yeah, well, I'm not actually sure how to pray to me, so Yeah, I would be just shouting it into the sky, thinking it, like whatever it takes. Like just, I'd try a few different. I'd just think it. I'd shout. I'd try both of those. To be honest.
If I pray to the city, does my head explode? That's the real question.
No. Okay. You still don't get any sort of direct communication back or anything. Rick, sorry.
Okay.
All right, so we've been traveling for the past day and night at a pretty rough speed in order to sort of get away from the witch trees. We are past the Tangle now, and we're sort of in like the Blasted Lands, which is what we called it, which was sort of, you know, the very rocky, sort of very not overgrown area that was more or less buildings over tumbled, that kind of thing.
Can I delete the game for a game?
Yes, you can, Riley.
Okay.
Mwah. I love you too. Thank you.
Do I know? Do I know if the wall control amulet has any range or anything? Because if we're out of the tangle and out of the battle, could I try and drag the walls back to us if we're sticking around for a rest?
I think it was like written down, but I think it's something like 100-foot range or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that'd be out of range.
Okay. So, would we like to stop here and take a rest? Would we like to sort of press on? What would we like to do?
I would like to rest because I've burnt like a lot of my resources.
Are there any like landmarks,
I wouldn't mind it.
things or low area, like, you know, anything like in the landscape around us that it's like, you know, it kind of jumps out at you as being not flat land? I don't know. Like, is there something like landmarks or?
Most of the land here is more or less not flat. I mean, there's not like a lot in the terms of like rolling hills, quote unquote, or anything like that. It is flatter as a whole, but you know, it is like broken up by rubble, litter, that kind of thing.
You find like a big outcropping of rubble that's like big enough for everyone here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I'm going to work my magic. Literally. I'll make that big outcropping look like kind of one big boulder or chunk of rubble kind of thing. Like it's all seamless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could definitely do that.
Then I'm going to get my tiny hut. And then I'm going to spam alarm spells. And I'm going to take a nice nap.
Are you popping alarm spells around you, or are you concentrating them sort of towards the Tangle?
Just a general circle around the place, like I usually do.
Okay.
While he's done that, I might pop commune with nature and see if those witch trees are still within 3 miles.
You can't get anything exactly from them. They're on the other side, where time is going much faster, and it's like impossible to communicate.
Okay. That makes a. It's just saying if I couldn't bullshit it.
Sure.
I'd like to cast Sending on me to tell him that I'm trying to pray to him. How do I pray to him? No, I'm good.
That might work.
Rick, how much of that conversation, that last part of that conversation, do you tell, and to whom?
Then
Also, you're breaking up.
do you mean that them saying that they don't think me will do anything for them.
That's what I'm asking. Like, are you telling that to everyone? You can't see me, but I'm gesturing wildly.
I mean, in all fairness, I did kind of shout it out to the sky in front of everyone. So if I didn't tell them exactly,
I guess so.
if
You're right.
they wanted to pay attention, but yeah, if anyone wanted to ask, I'd let them know. But yeah, I don't have anything to hide there. I'd just tell them everything that went down.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Right. That's the wrong one. Don't read that. Don't.
We'll go with the first one since that's what you rolled first. So, when you sort of start your barrage at the heavens, we're gonna call it, Trug looks taken aback. She's somewhat shocked by whatever you've said. The mentioning of me, very specifically. The other two were less paying attention as they were working on maintaining the spell together. The other two clerics, that is. But she definitely heard it, and she is... And she's definitely looking at you in a different light now.
Good light or bad
I
light?
forgot that I did actually have something to hide there. Shit.
Yeah,
no, too late now. I'm just gonna look at her and I'm gonna be like, in all fairness, it was an accident.
I've got passive perception of 19, so assuming that would see it.
You probably would have seen that too, yeah.
Yeah, can I insight her to see like kind of what her disposition is, if it's more of a hostility thing?
Sure.
After
One moment while I make a roll. Go ahead.
Yeah, after Farron's little fucking outburst over her thing, I'm keeping a very close eye on basically everyone to do with that party.
You may or may not be able to see this. It's not hostility at all. It's definitely shock, but it's also recognition. Not only did she hear what you were saying, obviously, but she recognized who you were speaking to.
I'll pull her up on it. What do you know of me? Of the crystal?
So I'm sort of also assuming, is this right then and there? Or is this some time has passed, we've set up camp type deal?
I'll do it later after we've set up camp.
Okay.
So
Oh, Duskin's doing with the
address
stout
it
card.
soon.
I describe Duskin, please.
I think he's just still trying to unbind his god that's
He's got like
been
a
merged with our god now.
He's got a nail file now. He's just trying to file away the bandages.
So one thing at a time. We'll go ahead and we will start with the Trug thing.
Yes.
So, again, you've sort of pulled her aside at this point, and she's sort of grudgingly come. You can tell that whatever's going on, she's got her defenses up. She's, cross-armed, leaning back. She's definitely putting up a very defensive posture.
True, you're obvious. You seem to be a bit more enlightened than the rest of the clerics and such. What do you know of the crystal me?
She bites her lip. What do you know of it?
She's really asking the wrong person, hey?
Yeah, I mean, I know some because I didn't deal a lot with it outside of with Stromtolians.
I mean, you've met him.
But yeah, I'd encountered it like outside, separate of you guys as well. But well, I know that it used to be in times before everything happened. It used to be a lot less than what it was. This lot, they introduced thought or something to it in some way, and now it seems to have taken some sort of demigod status.
Oops, that's the wrong one.
I mean, was that meant to be an insight check?
Yeah. She sort of
I'm not lying to her.
whistles
That's
softly.
Zydron knows.
You're telling the truth.
I'm trying to get the truth, and I felt.
And she sort of just sits, just on the flat of the ground. She's been floored by that sort of revelation of yours.
She is one of the clerics.
Knocked her on her ass by talking to her.
Yes, she is. About a few months, as far as our time goes, there was an entity that stepped through from the other side, all crystalline and alien. It called itself the Sovereign. It came through. Maybe we should have this conversation with everyone, or at a later time. Not in front of Farron, but
I was going to suggest possibly not in front of her, and possibly not the other clerics.
no, they're fine. It's sort of a long story, but we worship me. And she says it very softly.
Well,
The reason we're getting these powers to manipulate these fields are from me, and not from the city. And she spits.
what a little cuck. Doesn't give us powers, and we were the one that made him powerful. But if you think it's a conversation,
I'm sure there's questions on all sides, but again, maybe also it's a conversation for back at the end of time. But this is enormous. We wouldn't have thought anyone from that side would have even heard of me.
Well, incidentally, this lot seem to have had a large hand in creating as a...
We made you a god. Worship us.
They made a god?
They didn't make him, but from what I gathered from before I worked with them and from working with them, they gave it some process of thought. It was just an artifact before that, and then they introduced free thought and sentience to it, essentially. And apparently doing that to great artifacts of power can have side effects.
No. That doesn't quite make sense.
Well,
Me
maybe
wasn't some mindless thing.
Yeah, I really want to be involved in this conversation because you're getting it wrong just because you weren't there.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I only know what Zydrone knows. I know there's more to it than what I can actually say.
Yeah, of course. It's just,
Well,
I gotta wait until the conversation comes to everyone.
I think then yes, it might be a conversation to be had in more safer climates.
Yeah, definitely. Certainly when we get back to the city, we need to sit down and we need to talk. Definitely need to have a talk.
On a side note, how, I guess, loyal are you with Farron?
Well, I'm not sure what you mean. I wouldn't go pointing my dagger at her in the dark.
Oh, I'm not not talking of betrayal or anything like that, but more of is it an agreement out of because you're working together, or what is the deal between you? Because she's not a cleric herself, is she?
No, she's not. She does her job and leaves us to do our job, mostly. I mean, I personally don't know her too much.
That's fine.
Dawn certainly has more of a rapport built with her than I do, but I don't typically associate with many outside the church.
Fair enough. Well, think on this as much as you need. Talk with your church. Your gathering? I don't know which word to use for them. But we shall sort of time we can speak a bit more properly and openly back at the end of time. And with that, I will turn back and go to the party and let them know that, hey, the clerics don't actually pray to the city, they pray to me.
Just
Rick would just be overjoyed.
probably makes me laugh every time I hear it.
And on to the next subplot.
This is such wonderful news.
All right. So perception checks. For those of you who are making a watch.
Making what?
A watch for the night.
I'll take first one, so... No, I'll take last one, actually, if that's okay, so I can get a full rest in first.
Okay.
I can take the first watch.
I was just going to say I can jump in the first watch with whoever's doing that.
Yeah, I'll do sometime in the middle.
Okay. Let me just get one more from either Rick or Adrian. Okay. So, like, everybody rolled real well.
I want to roll. I want to roll. Wait, I want to unbalance that. Hold on.
Yeah, I was going to say...
go and get a
Hey, there
critical.
So, the forest. The jungle that we can see on the other side of this line. We can see it sort of start to, I'm going to say, mutate. It sort of gets corrupted, the plants, the things sort of change. They stop being more plant-like. They get growths all over them. The growths burst into whatever, viscera or whatever. Things on the other side are looking a little rough right now. We can probably guess why.
Nah.
But things aren't really, coming over into the other side, our side. They seem to be staying real contained right in the tangle for now. But it would not take genius to guess that the garden is no longer a very safe place to come and gather food, if it ever was a safe place, quote unquote. But other than that, it's pretty peaceful. So the next day, we break camp, and let's get a smattering of survival rolls, led by Scout, who actually, survived. Which was a little surprising, admittedly.
Oh,
Tadpole, you
There's a
beat
lot of
me.
people. There's a lot of people not surviving. I am one of them.
Oh. Luckily, 2 people blew it out of the water. And we can travel in relative confidence that we are going in the correct direction. However, we are in troll country. So you gotta be careful because they will fly into your hair.
Troll town.
Are we going at a normal pace through troll country? Are we going quicker through troll country? Are we doing anything differently in troll country?
What if we went through slower, but also stealthily?
I mean, I think it's a good idea.
What's that?
Slow but stealthy instead of fast or normal.
Oh, yeah. Alright, resetting lights.
I mean, it's just not what we normally do. So
You guys got to give me like 5 or 10 minutes too. I will be right back. I gotta go take care of something. There's a crying child not far in the distance, so I'll be right back.
no, a child crying. The trolls will hear that. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the best plan for troll country is.
What are we doing?
We're figuring out how to travel. I suggested that we should go slow and stealthily rather than fast or normal speed. But yeah, that's just because it's not what we.
I'm okay with stealth.
How many people does pass without trace affect?
Up to 10, I think.
And how
Let me check.
is it just tadpole?
Actually, it does
Did someone ex machina prepare it today?
I'm doing that right now. I'm preparing my spell. Because we didn't actually really have a chance to switch spells around. But if we were knowing that we were going through troll country, I would have.
Pass without the trace have a limit.
No, it does not. So,
I can do it.
oh, you don't need it as a spell either, so yeah, you can do it. Because that just uses your key points,
It
right?
is concentration though.
That's fine. What else does Tadpole have to concentrate on?
Cooking recipes made from dead trolls. I don't know.
She just eats some raw toast.
I'm running.
Because, yeah, I mean, if we can pass without trace everyone, then we're pretty good.
Only lasts for an hour though.
Oh.
Alright, I'm back. Everybody else back? Anybody else back?
Uh,
I am here just toggling mute because got company in the room, but I'm still at the computer.
Gotcha.
Still on mute.
Alright, so we were saying let us go through Troll Country, but do so at a slower but more stealthy pace? Question mark?
Basically.
Yes, I believe that was the plan, and we were going to get Tadpole to do Pass Without a Trace, so I don't need to waste a memory slot.
Okay. Does that sound good for everybody? Anyone disagree? I presume that nobody disagrees. Let me get 2 survival checks while we're doing it. Did I say survival? I meant stealth.
Yeah,
Probably from the best person and from the worst person.
I have -1 on stealth, so I will be one of those.
I got a plus 14.
that's just...
Yeah. So me and Tadpole. And
Yeah, I think Zodron's even
And with
worse
a
than
10
me.
on top of that, we're still pretty dang on stealthy.
Man, if you fail with Pass Without a Trace, you're either critical rolled with a negative multiplier or you just suck.
It would be pretty hard, I'll admit. Alright. We're going to sort of simulate the last day a little bit. Because that was the tough bit right there, and you guys, way past with flying colors getting through the trolls. So, we are back at the end of time. It's been according to your time, probably around about 14 days or so. But as you're getting back in through the safe way, you see some of the NPCs, namely Zoosh, Vex, and Kif, sort of wandering around, and they're rather surprised to see you back. As far as their time went, it's only been about 3 days for them.
Is that how long it's been for us too? Apart from actually being in the Tangle 3 days, the travel time's a few more days. It's been what, a week maybe?
I think Grim just said about 15.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
So about a fortnight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a comment that we can't guarantee that time will work the way we're expecting it to. Sometimes it will work in reverse.
Veg.
In all fairness, though, we've probably only been over on this side of the war, on this side of the city, for a second on the other side.
Yeah.
I don't really have anyone to have a joyful reunion with. So
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna,
do. Yeah, Bramble.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna go find the tree waifu and gonna go say hi to Bramble.
I'll bring
You could make friends with Zoosh.
And I guess I will actually tell
people to her.
I'll tell the other stick people.
Racist.
Yeah, right. If you would like to meet another one of your kind who might be able to show you the ropes and that you might be a bit more comfortable, you may wish to follow me.
Someone... us?
More Bramble folk, I think you call yourselves. I mean, she called herself Bramble herself.
Slower.
I exaggerate. I
Adrian slapped
slapped
tongues on.
the back of his
There
head.
is another one who looks like you.
I just heard Papa say
She
for make Terry
has
do
lived
it.
here for a while.
Across the house. Like with my tongue like this.
Okay, kiddo. So they would follow you eventually once they understand the language, basically.
Oh, was it literally they could not understand me? I thought one of them could speak with.
One of them speaks very broken common.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then I'd wander around till we found Bramble.
Bramble, not super hard to find. You know, pretty much anybody, if you ask where they are, they can be found. And she's surprised. I mean, less to see you and more to see everyone else. I mean, she looks happy, but she also has no idea who these people are, and they have no idea who they are.
I didn't expect it would be familiarity like that. But Bramble, we met some more of your kinsmen out there and apparently rescued them. Bramble folk.
I see that. What happened out there?
We got plenty of supplies. That was one thing. We managed to reach whatever quota Farron had for us. But beyond that, just to cut long story short, I will explain basically everything. I'm not one to hide unneeded information. Or
So
information that doesn't-
totally everything to her, or
Yeah, actually, Zydron probably would.
okay.
We let loose undead monstrosity that destroyed your home.
Even the clerics worshipping me.
Oh no, not that sort of stuff. Just the like actual pertaining what happened while we were out, sort of stuff. Not like every conversation that happened.
And she would listen, you know, pretty wide-eyedly in intent, you know. She's a good listener. She oohs and ahs at the appropriate moments. She at the appropriate moments. She's someone who enjoys a story.
Talk to Bramble about my ascent to lichdom.
But that's what I would be doing for, I imagine, a few hours. If other people are doing other things.
Yes. So what would everyone else be doing at this point as well? We're going to go ahead and go sort of down the list. This is just our very first... We are back. We are at this place. We don't necessarily have to be doing what we're saying in our downtime, but is there anyone in particular that we would like to check in on?
Oh my god. Talk to Red in the Autoclave.
I really don't have anything.
I'm dead.
Okay.
A quick question would be, did Zydron tell us which cleric he talked to?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would have
I'm
told
sure.
you, and I would have also shared why I was talking to her. Like I would have told you guys before I talked to her, I'm going to go speak to True because she knew more than what we've been told.
There's a conversation in the party involved with that. I wouldn't be that. But I also wanted to go talk to the mages.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of saving the talk with them like in a day or two, once everything's settled down and they've actually had a chance to talk.
I didn't want to have the talk. I just wanted to, you know, pull her off to the side and be like, "Hey, Zydron told me, and I couldn't be more happy."
So would that have happened here as we get to the city, or would that have happened along the way? Probably. Because I imagine that would more be along the way type thing.
Well, yeah, wherever's convenient, really. Just like if I can get her off to a side for 5 minutes, because it's just a sentence that needs to be said, really.
She would sort of nod slowly, but would have told you to sort of keep it under wraps.
That was the idea behind pulling her off to the side.
Sure.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd just leave it at that until we actually have the conversation.
Mhm. Back at the Enclave, Ren greets you and looks somewhat excited to see that you and yours have sort of managed to bring a fair amount of chips. It's not a haul or anything like that, but it's certainly more than nothing. I mean, you would have dropped off things at, the respite first, and things would have gotten sorted and all that. But when eventually it comes around to it, he is fairly impressed. That's a fairly good job. A lot of folk don't have the knack for finding them.
Was that the magic traps?
Yes.
I mean,
if they,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, if they were saying that to me, I'd point at Adrian. I'd be like, "There's your man."
I think they're pretty easy to find once you know what you're looking for, especially with all the other, I don't know, residue floating in and about.
Well, I'm glad you managed to find so many. We could probably do something with this. We've thought a little about your situation as well. It's really been the talk of the last couple of days. Mostly a thought exercise, you understand.
What specifically, the undead stuff?
Yes, to be blunt about it. And we think there's some things that we could do.
Give some thought over it, especially since oh no, I kind of broke my own time for a bit, got bombarded with sendings, of which I think was from the agents I hired to find information from, but I didn't really get any of it in that mess.
That's sort of a shame. But as I mentioned, I think we figured something out. It'll take, a few days going over things and checking notes, comparing, contrasting, but I think we could figure something out. If, of course, you'd be willing to share some things with us.
Of course.
I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
To fair trade and, of course, working together.
Of course. And again, we can sort of speak on exactly what we want in a little while. I'm sure you're somewhat tired from being out for so long. I know that things work a little differently outside of here.
Oh, on that note, note of necrotic, horrible things that happened. Did I break the news to them about the forest and stuff? Out of character?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
If it's the mages.
Happened to the bramble, by the way. Some sort of undead entity was trapped somewhere and started tainting the land. And now some of the bramble folk druids have some sort of weird amalgamation of undead plant druids.
Yes?
Oh, I was just... Yeah, many of you go out might want to bring a lot of fire spells, maybe enchantments of that sort, or anything to help people going out. A lot of their constructs can be really weak to the fire, especially more so with their current state. Though typical plant magic, that like plant withering magic, doesn't seem to affect them like blight normally would.
Huh. This seems rather important. Perhaps we should have more of a meeting about this. As it seems to more sort of relate towards the town as a whole.
Quite.
Yes. Again, sort of unpack your things, settle yourselves, and then we can gather everyone at the respite. So obviously, sort of everyone is going to be gathered. This includes us, the players. But before that happened, did anyone want to do anything specific? Check in anywhere?
Nope.
No, I was just doing stuff. And our poison chick wasn't on this side of time, was she?
No, she fell.
Yeah,
Did we get construct check though, or did she fuck off too?
she fucked off too. I think we got rid of basically everyone, didn't we?
Except for her.
Yes. I mean, more or less, we certainly didn't grab everyone across. You know, some people were sort of doing their own thing. Yeah, most everyone else was sort of doing their own thing. And the only person who could have came but didn't really come was Whisper. But again, she was dealing with her own sort of religious turmoils. All right. What I think we will do is we will go ahead and pause the session here. And the next time we pick up, we will sort of pick up on the big what happened conversation.
Sounds like a plan.
But I will go ahead and get tokens on now so I don't forget to do it later.
Can't wait for that conversation because I need them to teach me how to pray to me.
Good session, though. Maybe didn't quite go exactly as planned for you guys, nor for me either, to be very frank. But either ways, we're here, we're alive, no one actually died. I'll admit I'm ever so slightly surprised at that one. But all in all, pretty good one.
What were you surprised at? You cut out for me.
That nobody died. That somebody didn't take,
I got close. To be fair.
5 harm spells to the face.
Yeah. That harm spell nearly did me, but then I managed to get into T-Rex form, which is a nice buffer.
Yeah, I'm just kind of happy I was out of range of the harm spell.
Yeah. You got a lot of constitution, but man, that still hits pretty hard.
I was surprised at how much constitution I had when I had to take those constitution saving throws. It's like, wow, I've got a +6 to a saving throw.
But either way, pretty good session. We're gonna go ahead. Man, I could just not talk today. Go ahead and end it there. So everybody gets to say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
Yo.
Bye.
All right.